ball program. We're going to have a football team that's focused on discipline, on structure, on making sure that we can be innovative in our approach schematically, but also we have a football team that understands the importance of the knowledge that they have. Because most people talk about playing fast, and we're going to do that. But if you don't play smart, man, you can play fast going in the wrong direction and you're going backwards.
Man, turn this
We're going to have a team that understands that our knowledge will be our greatest talent.
Let him cook, Trey.
And then we're going to play fast because the confidence of who we are, what we do, how we train, and the unbelievable skill that we're going to recruit here to be able to showcase these great players and individuals. We're going to have a football team that plays physical. Toughness is going to be displayed every single day.
Who does he think he is, Matthew?
Not only physically, but mentally. You're going to see toughness displayed in special teams. I believe that is the backbone of your program. People can talk about offense and defense, but if you want to see a team that has tremendous culture, tremendous passion, tremendous belief in each other, watch them on special teams. I was fortunate that
kill it, please.
They really used their head on special teams.
Anyway, special teams. Anyway, yeah, if you guys didn't figure it out, Florida State has lost 21-11 to a very bad NC State team that played a very bad game at home. In a game that I've seen a lot of football. And we all talk about momentum and the football gods. Well, brother, if the football gods have ever been hinted at, tonight they were sending you a resounding message with those 2 punts in a row. There may be time for a change at Florida State. We'll get into all of that stuff. However, 21-11. I do not think that NC State played a great game. They beat you. I do not think that their head coach made a lot of great decisions. They beat you. Your offense does not travel on the road because NC State's defense is not great, and their offense didn't play that great either. It was a pretty, honestly, number one, a boring game for most of it until things got really wacky and weird. And for a program on the brink, for these 2 games to have such outsized importance, the miscues, the penalties, the red zone tomfoolery was extremely evident. You looked foolish against a very mediocre NC State team. And once again, if these 2 games do have outsized importance, Adam and Kev, on what you want your football program to be, my God, what are we doing here? Just a gross game on multiple levels. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Adam first, then Kev.
I mean, Trey, I just played a 30-second or a minute clip of his core values and everything that he stands for and what he was going to build this program on. And he has failed miserably at every single one of them. Like, at what point, what are we? I said to somebody earlier, like, what the hell am I going to get on this thing and say at this point? Fire his ass into the sun. Let's be done with it. If you don't, you've defined your intentions for this program moving forward, financially or whatever the reason is. You can't keep doing this. That I've been involved with football for over 30 years now as a player and as a coach, as an athletic director. I have never in my life seen some shit like that before. That ball bouncing off that freaking kid's head and back to the punter. If you could make a freaking poster of the Mike Norvell era, that would literally be it. That is a snapshot of this freaking guy's career at Florida State. Like, holy shit, what are we doing? But, I mean...
At least they didn't immediately turn around and muff another punt.
But, I mean, the administration's telling you that they don't want to fire him. They don't want to do it. But I just don't know how, at this point,
The universe is like forcing you to at this
Yeah,
point.
they really are. They really are.
It's a confluence of forces that I had never seen back to back to back to back. And do you care? Do you care what you have on the field? Do you care about the product? We've run it to its endpoint, guys. We've run it to its endpoint weeks ago, but we've really run it now. Kev, like when you watch this game, and I do think that NC State did not play a very good game against you and still won in a game that is pivotal for your own employment.
Did we find hold on. Did we find Mike Norvell? Do we find Mike Norvell's burner? Is Leroy Jenkins Mike Norvell's burner?
Leroy Jenkins. He's coming in.
Going at it. Leroy Jenkins, are you Mike Norvell's burner?
No, he's Leroy Jenkins. It's a suicide mission. He's trying to get banned.
Leroy
Mike Alford, is that
Jenkins.
you? Are you in here? You
Good.
sneaky son of a bitch.
Once again, a sparkling comment. Anyway, Kev, what do you think about what you saw tonight? And because we're in the middle of a super serious, super thorough evaluation period, do we need any more evaluation?
Dude, I don't know. We were watching this game, and just like the last, I don't know, 2 years, your temptation is to be like, all right, X player sucks. I can't believe X player sucks. I can't believe the kicker missed that kick. I can't believe Tommy did that on third down. I can't believe they fumbled out here. I can't believe they muffed this punt. I can't believe they did X stupid thing. And at a certain point, when so many different players under the same head coach, under the same circumstances, high pressure situations, on away games specifically, make the same stupid mistakes over and over. I mean, it's Mike. It's Mike. It's Mike. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how he's doing it. It's actually incredible how bad of a head coach he is right now. Like, he's so bad of a head coach, he's actively making his players worse. I think your record would be better right now if you had fired him in October and just let Odell make the pregame speeches, because whatever's happening, whatever this chest bump thing is, whatever's going on isn't working and is making his players worse, is making them head cases, is making them make stupid decisions in stupid moments, and they're losing stupid football games. This team isn't a bad football team purely on paper, but they are a bad football team, and it's because they're all head cases. And there's one commonality there.
These losing plays have become airborne, and they have metastasized in the DNA of Florida State football. If there is a way, no matter how spectacular, how stupid, for Florida State football to lose a very winnable game, by God, shout out to Jim Ross, they will do it. And man, this game was the epitome of that. It is, Adam, you've coached teams. We've all seen when messages fall flat, but this is almost, it's hard to verbalize because the culture is a losing culture. It's like destructive. The mindset that the players take on from the head coach is actively working against them. And you can see like things that seem out of the ordinary for a team to lose games in Division I P5 college football, Florida State does regularly. Like what the hell is going on here from like a culture standpoint, man? Like these guys, they play the football games like losers.
I don't know, man. I don't think the culture's an issue, if I'm being completely honest. I think, I mean, the guys still seem to show up. I mean, we've watched them play hard the last couple of weeks. It just, you don't have a lot of talent because you haven't recruited very well, and you had to go out and rebuild your offensive line, spend all your money at certain places, and then you made bad choices along the defensive side of the ball. People are
then a question to you then. Like that's fair. Why do they seem to actually play worse in their capabilities when the stakes are higher?
because I feel like
That's not a culture thing?
no, I don't think it is. I feel like is. They take on the personality. Teams always take on the personality of their coach, right?
Right.
And that's said often, and it's true. You just see how tense he is all the time. How he's never loose. Like he is always just so freaking uptight and wound tight. And guys just kind of feed off that. But also,
But that's a culture thing, right? The culture of the head coach is to
when
be
I
tight
think
in
when I
those
think of
situations.
when I think of culture, okay, I'm talking about like, are they working hard? Are they trying hard? Are they playing hard? Those kinds of things.
Oh yeah. No, that's fair. They are. I agree with
there's a
that.
difference. I think we're maybe saying the same things, but
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
consider culture to be like, guys are not showing for practice or that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I think these guys show up, they work hard. Like, I think they want to win. They're just wound so freaking tight because that's what Mike is all the time. And we've been talking about this for years, though. I mean, this is not new.
No.
But he at this point, I mean, he's a detriment to the program. This is all anybody talks about anymore. It's just time to move on. It's time to move on. There's no future here for that man.
The tight butthole gene has become airborne, and it's become ingested by the entire team. Kev, what do you think?
It's just so hard to verbalize. I think that's where we are as a fan base, where we are as a media base, where it's like, what you're seeing. You're seeing a team that has played, now 11 games, that has outgained opponents in yards per play, EPA per play, whatever statistic you want to put out there, in 10 out of those 11 games. I think Pitt is the only team that kind of outgained you.
Yeah.
And yet you're sitting here at 5-6. And it's because this team consistently makes errors at the wrong times. They consistently do things at the worst times. They make big mistakes. They get in the red zone and then have 3 straight penalties. They get to the red zone. They throw a pick. They get the ball back they're about to get the ball back with 2 minutes left, and they muff 2 punts in a row. Like, how do you analyze that as an analyst? Because we look at this team, usually in a season, there's going to be 1 or 2 of those games where that happens and you fall on the wrong side and you end up with 1 or 2 losses you're not supposed to. But six losses where you're outgaining, out talenting the other team, literally sitting there putting together a better football team and having more yards per play, being more efficient on a per play basis, and you lose 6 of those games because of mistakes. That's wild. That is just a wild amount of mistakes. And it's hard to put into words why that's happening or how that's happening. We can grasp for, I want to put it on Mike Norvell because honestly, that's what I feel is the case. But we don't know. We don't know how this team, like, is it just luck that this team is the least lucky team in the world, and they're just, all of this stuff is happening and it's all falling on them on the same time? Or is there a real reason behind why these unfortunate things befall this team every week? And it's just baffling how you can sit here, and we're football guys. We're guys that watch film. I can sit here and say there's nothing really wrong with how they game plan or scheme or even like.
No, the process is fairly sound.
Like.
Yeah.
I mean, 6.2 yards per play versus 4.07. That wins you 90% of the games, 95% of games, and you lose by multiple scores.
You were the better team all night. You outplayed them.
To be honest with you, Kev, and it's funny because we played that press conference. The answer may be in the special teams. If the special teams are the lifeblood of the culture, if they are what you hang your hat on, when you are executing at a higher level, outgaining the other opponent, and your special teams are that poor, there is something in your systemic approach that is not translating to wins on the field. It's just nothing. Like whether it's a general feeling of tightness, if it's a general feeling of like when the stakes are high, like this team is the opposite of gamers. When the stakes are high, they do not perform well. And that has been, it's so hard to find consistent like hallmarks or trademarks of this team's play, like year after year, right? Like it's a very inconsistent program under Mike Norvell. But for the 2025 Florida State Seminoles, one of the things that is consistent is when the stakes are high and you are playing from behind and you do need to make a big play to win the game, they don't make a lot of winning plays. And yeah, that's a great comment. The special teams have been bad.
Yeah, they've been bad
pretty much the entirety of the time, like minus Ryan Fitzgerald.
When you could have, when you're turning the staff over to change the special teams coordinator and you chose to hang on to that.
Right.
Look, it's all just a mess. Culture, not culture. Like at this point, whatever. We're just waiting it out here at this point to find out whether Damari's fired or not, right? I mean, that's where we're at.
Let's talk about, so do you want to talk about the game or do you want to talk about how this game should?
Somebody said earlier they didn't get a chance to watch the game, so they asked if we
So let's, you know what, that's a great point. Adam, in your words, how did the game go?
It looked like NC State was going to try to force you to be efficient, moving the ball and not give up the deep play. They were obviously trying to take Deuce away and take the shot plays away. And I thought, generally speaking, they did a decent job of that. They were trying to force you to throw the ball underneath. They were trying to force Tommy to be patient and force you to run the ball and see if you couldn't go down and make a losing play. So they kind of bet on themselves to be able to score enough points and to be able to keep you out of the end zone, force you to kick field goals. So you went down, missed a field goal early. I thought you were outplaying them, at least yardage wise. They were not getting easy yards. I thought you were getting easy yards, and then Tommy throws a bad interception early. I thought he was kind of late throwing the ball back into the middle of the field, and it's kind of sailed on when he didn't set his feet. But NC State wasn't having a ton of success. I mean, I thought defensively you were playing okay. You were playing a light box. You were actually defending the pass decently. They were trying to run some crossers and some different stuff. I thought you were playing it pretty well. And then you just kind of crap down your leg. I mean, 2 missed field goals in the game, 2 muff punts in the game, giving them, obviously take 6 points off the table for you, and you give them 2 opportunities, and one of them turns into a touchdown. I thought you outplayed them the whole game, except for in the red zone. And they converted, you didn't, you missed field goals, and you turned the ball over more.
Kev, what do you think about that? Do you have the same kind of opinion? I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, and North Carolina was able to hold on the football. They had a pretty solid game plan. And you kind of saw a little bit of what happened against Virginia in that drive where Virginia just handed the ball off like 8 times right up the middle, where I do think that there is some sense that you can go right at this defense when you need to move the chains and maintain a drive. I think that they're good for a couple yards each run, and maybe that's a tell. Maybe there's something there that we're not seeing. But there was a couple of drives where they were able to just hold onto the ball, run out the clock, really limit the length of the game, because I think they knew that the longer this game goes on, the less likely it is that these explosives that FSU is getting, these long drives they're getting, aren't going to result in points. And so FSU, again, it wasn't able to get NC State off the field, wasn't able to get the ball back in the hands of the offense. And when the offense did have the ball, they just didn't take advantage of the few opportunities that they had. And so, honestly, it's the same game we've watched a couple of times now.
Ad nauseum, yeah.
They play down to their opponent. They let their opponents do these things to them, hold on to the ball. They make mistakes. This happened against Pitt. This happened against Virginia. You then slowly you're unable to convert into touchdowns, and you just peter out of opportunities and the game ends.
Have you guys noticed that when like not similar level ACC programs, but maybe like a tier below play Florida State, that they almost play FSU that they're the favorite? Like NC State, there was no urgency on their side. They knew that they were going to probably get us in the end, and they played very conservative, as you would if you had like the talent advantage. Same thing with like Pitt. Like when these teams that are traditionally, historically lower in the pecking order than Florida State, they're not playing us like that. They're not going all out. They're taking advantage of their opportunities. They're not selling all out. They're not going super aggressive because that they think they can get us in the end. I've honestly noticed that for all these teams that have played us this year over the past couple of years. Is that something that you guys have noticed? Like these lower level ACC teams are beating us, but it's not because they're going the ultra aggressive, ultra tempo, the traditional blueprint that you would see for like an upset. They're kind of playing you like they're the favorite. Did you guys get that feeling tonight with NC State? They feel like they were playing very deliberate and very slow pace.
Well, I mean, it just feels like to me every team kind of knows that you're going to beat yourself. I mean, that is pretty apparent. I mean, throughout this season, last season, I mean,
Right.
teams
It's a
just know
self-fulfilling prophecy.
teams just kind of understand like you're not that talented, and you're not that deep, and you're not really that good at quarterback. So we just kind of need to wait you out, and you'll beat yourself. And it happens time and time again. I mean, how do you have 13 on the field down on the goal line? 13, not 12, 13.
2 over. Like
How's that happen?
Insane, dude.
With a CEO head coach in game, what number game is this at this point? I mean,
11 out of 12.
how's that happening? I mean, this was the whole
You're
point of him
getting
becoming
worse.
the CEO was
You're
getting
worse.
the communication right. And it's just back to back to back to back with this guy. I mean, I just can't. It's hard to just keep saying the same things over and over again. They've got to make the choice. Are we in it to win it, or are we just okay with riding this thing out for a couple of years and going into the next tier down of college football programs? That's where we're at, right? I mean, that's where we're at.
No, we're
we're
in
done
this
talking about
very
Mike
serious, very thorough evaluation period. Like, okay, these next 2 games, this was 50% of your remaining evaluation period. Pretty abject failure. What do you do now?
I mean, like I said, we started this instant with a couple minutes of his opening presser in which he defined everything that this football program was going to be about. And not one of those things exists right now.
No.
Not a single one.
And it was an image you had 6 years to craft, and you haven't.
And even at your highest, were you a team that was known for being smart and being
Oh God, no.
No, you had Jordan Travis bailing you out with like crazy plays and Keon Coleman making catches. Like your team, these teams have never looked the way that Mike Norvell wants them to look or has just designed for them to look. He's been treading water for 6 years, and he happened to put together he put together a really good roster for a year or two there. I think he hit a market inefficiency with the transfer portal. Right. I think that a lot of things kind of went their way. I think he kind of got lucky with Jordan Travis because Jordan Travis ended up being a better quarterback than most of us were thinking he would be. And, hats off to helping develop that. And I think that he deserves some genuine credit for 2023 and 2022, but he didn't do it the right way. He didn't build a foundation that would continue after that year. He didn't invest in high school recruiting, invest in development of younger players. He kept bringing in transfers. And because of that, this team never developed a depth. It never developed, a sense of growth, a sense of stability. And Now you're sitting here. That distracted me. Now you're sitting here
Praise.
6 years into his tenure, and he's doing the same thing again. He's bringing in transfers. He's trying to put band-aids on it, and there is no foundation here.
Well, that's why, like Trey, I mean, when we were having the culture conversation earlier, like, is there really a culture for this program?
No, it's
so year to year. It's become such,
because the roster's so year to year.
Right.
It's such a grab bag, and it's going to be that same way next year, right, Adam?
yeah. I mean, it has to be whoever's here, because we talked about it on the roundtable. You're replacing over 2/3 of your offense and over 2/3 of your defense. Like,
And you're also like, we're
and
probably
you're
going to
not replacing it from
replacing
within the
more.
roster.
We're probably going to replacing more coaches than we even rationed for in the roundtable. I think the only thing that's consistent is the team has inconsistent results. Honestly, the team's most consistent result is they suck ass on the road.
Yeah.
That's it. You want to be able to set your clock by something like Mike Norvell's Florida State. Don't matter who they play on the road, especially in a conference game. They're gonna play worse than they should. And
I said that exact line in my my game prediction.
on a
you
serious
nailed it, brother.
On a bit of a serious note, I guess maybe Javon Boggs collapsed leaving the field. I'm just seeing some different stuff about it, and was able to get up into the locker room. So I don't know, just maybe
that sucks because that kid plays his ass off. That's terrible.
Hopefully he's okay. We obviously want him to be.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that kid is one of the few lone bright spots on this team, man. So
yeah,
thank you for that, Adam. Obviously, Noles247.com. Track all that information, but it's a 2-game evaluation period. We had 50% of it. You know how we all feel. We got all of our feelings out on that large round table. This whole exercise is ridiculous. Like, is
he fired tomorrow, Trey? Yes or no? Your opinion. Come on. I'm putting you on the spot, big guy.
Should he be at this point?
No, not should he. Not should he. Is he fired tomorrow?
Well, I gotta think, because
is he fired tomorrow?
If they didn't fire him after Stanford, like they have no standard, so I doubt it.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm also going to say yes.
Because you had to hold out hope for this game. Like, if you won this game, no matter what happened with UF, you could kind of sell it. Now you can't. Yeah. You've seen them lay an egg, a big old fat shit on the road.
This one's
you got to expect him to lay another one against a UF team.
This one's going to piss a lot of people off. This, in my mind,
and it was a gross loss. It was a very
this one
boring.
Was this worse than Stanford?
Stanford's really bad.
Stanford was really
NC
bad.
State's a better team than Stanford, but with the stakes involved, the fact that you couldn't muster up a better effort from your offense against a very proven mediocre to bad NC State defense, like if you couldn't muster up an effort from your offense against that defense, you'll never muster up an effort from your offense on the road. So in ways, no, because Stanford's worse than NC State. But Adam, for me,
man,
if I know that these two games are for my job and that's the best I could get out of my guys on offense, yeah, I would actually say it is worse.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This was ugly, and
maybe
it just feels worse because of how it all happened there at the end. And in actuality, it's not worse. But man, those last 4 minutes of that football game were about as ugly as I can recall.
To me, it can't be worse because I expected this loss. I could not have told you that they were going to go to Stanford and lose that game. Like that game was
that's fair. But I also predicted this loss, but I didn't predict FSU losing to a C- game from NC State. Like NC State didn't play a great game, and they still beat your ass. right?
They
Like it was a very, very, very mediocre game from them.
this NC State team's not good either. I think they've lost their last 6 conference games by like 10 plus
CJ
points.
Bill is not that good.
No, you
They
saw
are not a
tonight.
good football team. They're honestly not far from the level of Virginia Tech and Wake Forest, who you beat. You should be able to beat. You should be able to go in day out and beat the
If you
tar
played
out
that
of a
game at
team
home,
this
you
level.
win that game by probably 28.
Right. So why? That's it's got to be Mike Norvell.
The guy around that can't win a damn football game on the road. You play half of them away. Like you gotta.
Unless you're Miami. Miami, I guess, doesn't play away games, but everybody else has to play away games.
It's usually half of your schedule. Either way,
Get me out
not
of here.
great. A gross evaluation point. If these two games are 50%, if he's going to stay, if he's going to go. I mean, Adam, if I had to pick, you got to let this guy go, because if you don't, like, this is the week to me with early signing day coming up. You either got to make the decision if he stays or if he goes.
Early sign day is a wash, in my opinion, but you need to make a decision now. Lane's announcing in a week. If you wanted to even pretend to be in those sweepstakes, you gotta have a damn job open.
And
John
all of the
Summerall-
teams,
John-
all the state teams have done the vote of confidence already.
Yeah. John Summerall is a guy probably going to end up at Auburn, but like if you want to even attempt to get in the sweepstakes, you got to try. And I'm not saying that they are interested in these guys or not interested or whatever. Like, I don't know. But if you're going to want your hat in the ring, like the clock is ticking.
Florida State admin. I don't know how it could be made any more clear to you. The divine intervention of the punt off the dome and the muffed back to back. It's time to make a fucking decision.
Ooh,
Keep the guy or let the guy go. It's
not
done. The evaluation period is over. It is done. I'm calling it for you. Stay or go, so that the decisions that can be made for the foundation of the program can need to be made. And I apologize for my language, but I cannot put a period, an exclamation point, and italicize it more than that. Make the decision. Whatever it is, stay or go. It's time to make it so that plans can be made. And if you guys have any plans to be made, go to Noles247.com, because there's a lot of fun talk on the forums right now. We love you. Adam, Kev, anything else besides the keep chopping that I want to throw up so badly?
No, I mean,
yeah.
we'll be here. This is
Never leave.
this is our team. This is who we're covering, and hopefully the administration makes the right decision. I don't think it's an emotional decision at this point. I think it's a decision that has to be made, and hopefully we have something more interesting to talk about, because as long as Mike Norvell's here, the conversation is going to look the same. Hey, this team can move the football, but they can't score, and they make really stupid mistakes to lose football games. Mike Norvell's really good at losing football games. He's proven it over the past 6 years that he's really adept at losing to teams worse than him, something that he's very skilled at. And I think that that's a skill that would be better off not being in Tallahassee.
Well said. Adam?
Leroy Jenkins is our biggest fan.
Love you, Leroy Jenkins. All right. Anyway, get your little Leroy Jenkins butts into Noles247.com. Get on the forums. Have fun. We all know it needs to be done. If that's what happens, cool. If that's not what happens, guess what? We're still going to be here covering the program. Fun times. Love you. Keep chopping. See you on the flip side.